Hi, I'm Paco, and you're watching Bad Witch Books. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be going over my February wrap-up. It is crazy. I say that every time, but it is wild that we are already at March. Feels like the year just started. February went like that. I am now a year older because my birthday was in February. I will have that haul coming, just so you guys get a rundown on the videos that are coming out this month. Next week, we have 14 Favorite Books, which is a sequel to the 14 Favorite Movies that came out last month. And then you guys will have the birthday vlog, haul. That is kind of what our calendar is looking like. But we are doing the wrap-up for February, which we're going to go to Stats Paco, but I will say I had a very successful reading month, especially compared to last month. I legit read double the books, but I think that is perfect segue into Stats Paco. Okay, this is Stats Paco for you guys. So, in the month of February, I read a total 8 books. Pages read was about 1,355. Hours listened to was about 35 hours and 33 minutes, which is just a much better approval rating of more than last year. My average rating was about a 3.7. I acquired 17 books. We're not going to talk about that in this video. I started 4 series, and one of them was really diverse. No, 2 of them were. I did not put in, because the Silver Sea is also a diverse read. Audiobooks, 3 of them were audiobooks. I read 2 ebooks and then 3 physical books. For formats, 2 were graphic novels and 6 were novels. And then audience, 7 were adult and 1 was young adult, compared to last month where I read 1 adult, 1 new adult, and 2 YA. So I do like the change up. And let's see. Ratings, I had 2 3 stars, 2 3.5, 2 4, and 1 5 stars. And then 4 fantasies, 1 horror, and then 2 others, like the comic books. And yeah, so that is what I read. We will get to the one Paco who does the reviews. Bye. Thank you, Stats Paco. It is now time for us to go over each of the books we read. So I have 4 books that I have here that I read, and then I also have 4 books that I do not own. So we'll go over those 4 books that I do not physically own first, and then we will go over the books I own physically. So in the month of February, the first book I listened to for an audiobook was Beth is Dead. This was for my book club that I'm a part of. It's with the local one of the local libraries, and it is a Little Woman's retelling. But it starts off, but it's a modern and it's a thriller. But it's weird because it's like in our modern world, and if Little Woman was a book in the world written by the girl's father about them. And it's weird. It's them dealing with that. But the main plot is the book starts, Beth is found dead. And they're trying to figure out who did it. And you learn about each of these girls and their secrets they're keeping from each other. And it was pretty interesting. A lot of people in my book club did not end up liking it because they had an attachment to Little Women. I did not, because I do have no attachment to Little Women. I tried watching the movie when it came out, the latest movie, and fell asleep during it, mainly because of work. But I had no prior connection to it, so I thought it was an okay, fun thriller. It was a okay, fun thriller for a YA thriller. So I gave it about 3 stars. The next audiobook I do not have on me was, I believe, my mind blanked, but it just popped into my head. Legends and Lattes. I read this for my moon prompts. My planner has 12 moon prompts. The prompt for February was to read a cozy book. And so I chose to do the originator of the cozy fantasy genre, in my opinion, Legends and Lattes. This was an okay book. It was fun. It read quick, which I appreciate. It is about a girl, an orc. She is like an adventurer, and she decides she's settling down and opening up a coffee shop in this new town. And she gets people to help her out. It was just a cute, fun, okay book. Nothing exciting. It was just a cozy. I enjoy some cozy. I wouldn't say this is I loved this book for coziness. I think I'm more lean towards Emily Wilde level cozy. than this. So I gave it about like a low 3 stars. The next book I do not have is actually I read 2 comics this month, which was good. I read JSA, I forget what the title of the actual volume, but this is volume 1, Society of Tomorrow, I believe. And this is here. So if you don't know, just this is Society of America is kind of like the old school DC superhero team that was like supposed to be before the Justice League. It has like Hawkman, Dr. Fate, like some of the like 60s characters. And basically throughout the timeline, the members of the society have been getting killed, starting with Dr. Fate, and then this person has been killing a bunch of them. It ends up ending with Huntress, who in this is the daughter of Batman and Catwoman from an alternate world. Or like an alternate future, her team is killed, and she is like sent back to the past to try to stop it. And like, it was okay. I didn't really care about any of these characters. I was trying to read it, and it was free on Kindle Unlimited, which is why I read it. So I gave this again like a low 3. And the next last book I do not have that I read was Scarlet Witch Volume 5. I've been reading the Scarlet Witch volumes as they've come out by Steve Orlando. I'm really enjoying this run. This run started in 2024, and this is Volume 5. Amarantha something is what it's called. Rise of Amarantha. But basically in this, Agatha Harkness leaves Wanda with a apprentice. She's like, hey, I tried having this apprentice. She is having some weird magic shit, and I'm tired. Your turn. And she tags Wanda in she becomes Wanda's apprentice. And it was a fun volume. I enjoyed it. We learned more about Amarantha and her past, and introduced her as a hero. And I just really enjoy this run. I enjoy Steve Orlando's take on Wanda, and I'm just excited to continue where she goes, because I know she becomes Sorcerer Supreme coming up pretty soon. I think I have one more volume, and then I'm ready to start the stuff to get where she is at right now as Sorcerer Supreme. So I'm enjoying that. That was a 4-star. So now we're on to the physical books I read this month. So the first physical book I have, well, I listened to one of these, but the first book I have is Wooing the Witch Queen by Stephanie Burgess. This is a cute little, I would even call this cozy, romantasy book. And it is part of the Queens of Villainy series. And this follows our witch queen Saskia. She has just recently reclaimed her throne from her evil uncle, even though she's got this Maleficent evil witch vibe and everybody thinks she's an evil witch. She reclaimed the throne, and she's put up this barrier around the kingdom so that the close empire can't get in. No one could take over. She is very mwahaha, no one's gonna fuck with my people. And so she's done that recently. And then the Duke, I think he is, of the local empire, he's one of the leaders of it, he flees because he knows that his father-in-law, who's kind of been controlling him his whole life, is going to try to get him killed. And so he flees to that kingdom for help. He gets past the barrier because he has a kind heart, and he ends up working as a librarian for our witch queen in disguise. And it's really cute. You had these 3 it's very campy. It gives to me very Once Upon a Time vibes, which is what I really liked. Honestly, Lana Parrilla is who I pictured as Saskia. And it's got a really cute character dynamic because she's more of the dominant one and he's really one of the softer ones. So it didn't get too explicit either. I think there was some smut in this, but it wasn't this was smut. But I thought this was really cute. I will be continuing with the series. I love the UK covers. So the next book I have was John Wayne's The Shadow of the Gods. I listened to this audiobook. This book follows 3 characters: a huntress, a noblewoman that is part of this battle legion, and a former slave on the run. And I thought it was okay. I'm giving this 3 stars because I did enjoy it. The audiobook took forever for me to get through it. It is a big, heavy fantasy world. I am most likely going to continue the series because I was buddy reading this with Princess Helen. Princess DNF'd it. Helen loved it. And I fall in the middle, really, of where we are. So we're going to continue the series. But it took a long time for me to read this. I started this in January and was supposed to have this done before the end of January. Didn't finish this till the first week of February was over. So that speaks a lot for that. Gorgeous cover, though. Gorgeous. Okay, the next book I have is Alexis Henderson's House of Hunger. This is Alexis Henderson's sophomore novel, I believe. And this book follows our main character, Myron. She is living in the slums. She is a maid of this, like, in the city to this, like, really old, cranky lady. And she learns about this job application to be a blood maid in, like, the Northern Kingdom. Like, there's, like, north-south vibes. And they're, like, very opulent. It's very mysterious, but basically it's just like giving your blood to these rich people. And she's like, my life sucks, deuces, and goes there, and she ends up living with and for the Countess, I think it's Bathory, like it's Elizabeth Bathory, Elizabeth. Like it's supposed to be like an Elizabeth Bathory kind of character. And she gets drawn in, they start like, and she learns the dark secrets of being a blood maid, especially for the House of Hunger. And it's a fun gothic horror. I do think I enjoyed her first novel so much better. This was fun, but the first novel, like, I was in love with, so I'm very intrigued to read her next novel. Her third one that came out recently. I think last year. Which might be on the April TBR now, knowing what I know now. And finally, the book that put me in a slump, legit, it is March 5th, 6th, as the time of recording. I have not read a single book this month. I've listened to a little bit of an audiobook, like 30% to an audiobook, but it is not much since that's a short audiobook. I need help. Send help. But it is because this book put me in a slump. This book was so good. I read this especially like during my birthday week, and it was perfect. But I read The Isle of the Silver Sea by Tasha Suri. My first 5-star of the year. Love to see it. Love to hear her. Look at the material. Gorgeous. Okay. Let me get into my like gush about this book. So this book follows our two lovely ladies, Vina and our witch Cimarron. So in this kingdom, there are stories that are constantly retold that keep the Isle alive. One such story is the story of the Knight and the Witch. The knight is sent to this evil witch to kill her or to stop her because she's like put all the people under trance, and she uses magic, and he kind of like falls in love with her in first sight. And then, like, she falls for him, breaks the spell, and he, like, kills them both tragically to, like, end it. Because he can't live without her, because he, like, actually fell in love with her. And then they are reborn, and they have to continue the story to keep that part of the Isle alive. Cut to our current day counterparts. We have Cimarron, a woman from, not Isleborn, she's elsewhere, born, and queer, as our witch. She does, like, illegal magic in the streets. She is rose tattooed, sassy, and fun. And then we have Vina, our knight, half elsewhere, and a lady knight, not a male like all the other ones have been. And they have a chance encounter one night, and they start to get pulled together, but also someone is mysteriously killing other incarnates, that's what they're called. And so they are like, we gotta solve this. So they are drawn together. It talks a lot about like colonization. It talks a lot about whose stories get to be told. It's sapphic as hell. It's fun. I love the witches in this book. She did it. This is going on my like favorite witchy books. So good. I love this so good. It talked about like fairy tales, talked about the power of stories and like whose stories get told and who gets to have a place in these stories. It was just so good. I chose this also for, I am now leading a book club in the Elk Grove area where I stay at, a seat at the table, and this was our February book club pick, or my February book club pick, and I loved it. 5 out of 5 stars. Favorite book of the year so far. And yeah, that was my first 5 stars. So, what did you guys read in February? Have you gotten a 5-star yet? If not, if yes, what is? If not, why not? And I will see you guys next time. Bye. Make sure to do all the YouTube things, like, comment, subscribe. If you can't come up with anything, let's leave a pink heart, because February is the month of pink.